Hello everyone, my name is Colt, and in today's video we are going to be going over all the videos and cars that I made in the last year, because today, April 1st, well if you're watching this on April 1st, is the 3-year anniversary of the Brick Engineering Dude channel. Now, the fact that this channel has been running for 3 years is absolutely insane to me, so first of all, thank you guys so much for watching, because obviously if you guys didn't watch these videos, there wouldn't be much point in making these videos, as fun as they are to make. Thank you Jesus for helping me to make all these videos, and as weird as this sounds, thank you to my friends in real life or over Discord and stuff who watch my videos, because knowing you guys watch my videos makes me that much more motivated to film. I don't think I've ever heard anybody else say that, but for some reason, when I think about that, I feel excited to make videos. I mean, of course, I feel excited knowing all you guys are going to watch the video, but yeah, thank you guys. We'll try not to make it as overcomplicated as the last one was, because that video was way too long, kind of boring. And yeah, we're just gonna go over all the videos that I made in the last year. So let me get up the channel on my phone. So in the last year, which is basically because the channel started on April 1st, which is kind of ironic, April Fool's Day. This last year of the channel goes from April 1st of 2022 to April 1st of 2023. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I picked the one day that there's a thunderstorm in Southern California to film. I don't know, that's a variation to the video, I guess. All right, let's go back to April of last year. All right, so I've made 3 of these videos so far, the 1 year anniversary, or the 1 year, 2 year, and now 3 year anniversary. This is the 3rd one of those now, actually. So yeah, as much as I would like to comment more on the older videos, we're going to start with April of last year. All right, so the first video I made after the last 2 year anniversary video was the version 2 Mark IV Supra video, and this is not something anybody wanted, but this is just something that I wanted to build myself to make it look a little bit better, because the model was kind of old and there were a couple parts that needed some work, and the video did really well. It's got 20,000 views, or almost 20,000 views. But it didn't do nearly as well as the original one. I don't know, maybe just people built more Supras since then. Either way, I'm still really happy with the model. I actually don't have any JDM cars on the shelf at the moment. It's just kind of coincidental, there's no reason for it. I'm pretty happy with this model, although since then people have made a lot more better Supra models, and yeah, that's honestly not really that much to talk about. Then we made this video, which was kind of one of those videos that I make because I wanted to make a video and didn't really have anything to make a video on. So I made a video about making a new channel banner, which is that thing over the channel when you go to my channel. I honestly don't think that was a bad video, but it was not the most interesting thing to make a video about. Then we had a video that was just intentionally not very interesting, because it was called, well, if you've seen it you'll know it, a guy talks about video strategy for 6 minutes. This is basically me saying that I'm going to go my strategy was to make a video every 2 weeks, which immediately after that video I dumped that strategy, and now I picked it back up again, or at least that's what I would like to do now. Now obviously I've just been really busy and haven't had time to make that many videos, so it's now about 1 month between videos, but I would like to get it back to the 2 weeks between videos ideally. Then we had a really good video, one of my favorite videos. It did okay. The Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. I still have the model up on the shelf there, I think. Still one of my favorite models, and just one of my favorite videos. I think it was the first video I did where I did this kind of vlog assembly type thing, and I kind of just was goofing around, did some cool stuff with it, and yeah, I'm really happy with that video, really happy with the model, and yeah, that all went really well actually. Now in the 2nd year of the channel, October of 2021, I made the top 5 upgrades video, which is now the most popular video on this channel, which has 230,000 views, which is insane. There's some thunder going if you guys can hear. And so I wanted to make some more videos like that, because you guys seem to really like the videos where I modify cars and stuff. So I made a video with 10 accessories that you can build to go with your Speed Champions cars, and that video did really good. 55,000 views at the moment. Nothing very memorable, if you get what I mean, from that video. The accessories I think were good, but they were fine. They weren't super insane or something. Next up, we had a really short video highlighting a commission model. I do commission models, I do quite a few. If you follow my Instagram, you probably know that. This is a commission model of an R33 GTR, which at this point had meant that I made all 3 of the Nissan GTRs, or at least all 3 of the really well-known ones. Or actually, all 3 of the Skyline GTRs, I should say. The R32, the 3, and the 4 GTRs. The 4 needs an update, but that's another story. Normally, I don't make videos of commission models just because it's already kind of a lot of work going into the commission process. I don't want to try to film the whole thing on top of that. But I took some video of the model before I sent it out to the customer, and so I just put that footage together with some music and put it and made a video. It wasn't a super remarkable video, but I am pretty happy with the model, and I would like to rebuild it and have one on my shelf sometime, and I will release the instructions for it. Then we had a video which was much more interesting, which was building it's confusing title, building a Zenvo TSRS Lego, which is kind of clickbait in that me and my brother put together this like Zenvo production facility, which was inspired by Shmee150's like Zenvo buying building series of videos, where he would like go to the Zenvo factory and look at his Zenvo TSRS being built. Zenvo is like an obscure Danish supercar. If you are not familiar with it, yeah, here's a picture. And so we basically recreated like a small area of the production facility with like a half-finished TSRS model there, and it was really fun to build. And it was like a short video, but I think it was still good. And Shmee150 actually did see the model over Instagram, and he left a comment, and he said he liked it, so that was really cool. So thank you, Shmee, or Tim, I guess, if you somehow are watching this video, because that was really cool. Then we had a video where I hit 10,000 subscribers, and that was basically, I wanted to do something special, but I was just super busy at the time and didn't really have time to do anything like cool in real life. So in Studio, which is my digital building software, I basically built like this garage, and I built a whole bunch of my models around it, and made a render like this, and it looked really cool. And maybe it's not the most special thing to do ever, but either way, it was something, and it was cool. Then I actually built a like finished Zenvo TSRS, and this is one model that is kind of interesting because while most of the cars I build, I'm like a huge fan of in real life. The Zenvo, don't get me wrong, I like the Zenvo a lot. It's not like when I think dream car, the Zenvo is not one of the first cars that comes to mind. It's not like a bad car at all. Like I'm saying, I don't hate this car at all. I really like this car. I think it's awesome, but it's not like one of my very favorite cars. But since we've done the Zenvo factory, I feel like it made sense to make an actual finished Zenvo. And honestly, building a car that is not something you thought of building before can be quite interesting because, well, yeah, it can just be more interesting. And so I built it. I was super happy with the model. I am super happy with the model. It uses a lot of like really crazy and weird techniques. And yeah, I was just really happy with how it turned out. I built a white one, like the Zenvo like launch press car or whatever. And then I built Shmee150's purple and green one, which I think was super cool. Shmee150 actually did see that over Instagram, so also really cool. And thanks again. And that video did okay. Originally I titled the video like Shmee150 building Shmee150's Zenvo TSRS in Lego, and the video like did whatever, and so I changed. And I don't know if that was confusing people, so I changed it just to like Lego Speed Champions Zenvo TSRS. And I don't know, it's got like 7,500 views, which is not bad at all. I'm not really sure if it would have done better if I had coordinated it better, but yeah, either way, I'm fine with it. I'm good with that. Next up, we had another YouTuber car, and this was the Mercedes W140 S-Class S600, which belongs to F-Spot, and it's like the really cool, really mean looking AMG body kit with $12,000 exhaust and all that. And so I built one out of Lego. Intriguingly, the video did like infinitely better than I thought it would have done, because I was like, oh, it's an old Mercedes, like, kids on the internet aren't really gonna like be looking for that. But the video has 16,000 views, which is more than double the views on the Zenvo TSRS video, so go figure, I guess. I don't mind it at all, because that is a really cool car. One of my favorite models I built, and what's really cool is that F-Spot himself owns that model right now. As you can see, it's not on the shelf. He has it, and now it lives with the real S600, which is incredibly cool. Then I made I think this was like the second like building process video, because I noticed people really like the Aventador SVJ one, and so I wanted to make another one, and so we did the 930 Turbo, or 911 Turbo. This is again a car I really liked, because I just watched some videos on like the Midnight 930, and so I was trying to do something similar, not exactly the same. And so I made like this design process video, and I think it actually did pretty good. It has 11,000 views right now, but when I first released it, it actually got there really fast, so I was quite happy with that. I was really happy with the video, or reasonably happy with the video. I kind of rushed to finish it, so the second half of the video is worse than the first half. But another model that I'm just super happy with. Then I tried to make another video that was similar to the accessories thing, where I made 5 racing accessories, which is maybe a bit of a stretch considering some of the first ones are racing accessories. And the video did okay, like 6,700 views, which is great, but not as good as some of the accessories upgrades video have done in the past. Maybe it was just because they were not crazy, and so I don't blame people for like not watching it. Then we had, I think this is the second episode ever of featuring your models, which is something people really like, which I should do more because I enjoy doing it. And these videos are not super memorable for me, obviously, because it's just like other people's models, which is cool. I enjoy doing it. And they do really well, usually. This has 22,000 views at the moment. Then we have a video, which is like the video by far I've ever put the most effort into, which was, well, right now it's titled How to Become an Expert Lego Car Designer. I think it had a different title when I first released it. I don't remember exactly what it was. Basically, I had been planning on making a video of like, oh, here's how to start building Lego cars. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of boring because I only have so much information. Like, okay, if I get other people I know who build Lego cars and who are better than myself at building cars, it'll make the video that much more interesting if I can interview them. So if you guys have seen the video, I went to Instagram, I asked people what they wanted to know about building cars. I interviewed a bunch of people: Bricks, Blocks, Mox, Custom Creations, the G Bricks, SFH Bricks, LH Mox, Nard, NV Car Mox, Leo, Thomas, Vancouver Brick Customs. And yeah, that video actually done okay. It's gotten more views recently. It's at 21,000 views. It's got this really cool thumbnail now with the G-Bricks' new Countach model. It had a mediocre thumbnail at first because I was rushing to get it out there, which I shouldn't have done. I just waited to put together a good thumbnail. I don't know if that would have changed how it did, but either way now it's got the good thumbnail. And it's a long video. If you haven't watched through it, thank you, and also congratulations, because I can't imagine that many people watch 30 minutes of information on building toy cars. But I'm super happy with how that video turned out. And thanks to all of you guys who appeared in the video so much for doing that, because that was just really cool to be able to like get all that stuff together. Now, I'm pretty sure at this point, I can't remember exactly, I've been doing roughly one video a week since I made that video on video strategy, and I was getting kind of burnt out. I was still enjoying it, but I just didn't have the time to make one video a week, so I made this video called Let's Go, which, looking back at it, is kind of a dumb title. It's not the worst title, I think. Maybe it is the worst title I put in the video, and it's kind of just generic, and it doesn't really make any sense. The video is just like an update video, which update videos on my channel, they started out as just like, oh, here's like, I'm working on this model, and I'm working on that model, and gradually it just became like filler videos when I didn't have anything to make, and I wanted to make a video, which I'm trying to avoid now. This is kind of like the closest video to that I've done recently, and like it's relatively substantial, I like to think. Anyway, yeah, this video was like, I think it was a fine video. It just wasn't very interesting, and it was kind of just like a filler video. So yeah, it didn't do great, but I don't know, it's not like I hate it or something. Then we had like the final video where I was like really didn't have any time to do this, and so my friend SFH Bricks had this contest to build like a fictional Le Mans hypercar race car. And so I built a model for it. I hadn't planned on making a video for it, but I wanted to make a video, and so I made it on this model, which is a fine video, I think, but it was just like, it was not a video that I had planned on making, and so just like, yeah, it was okay. Then there was I think, if I remember correctly, there was a large amount of time between that and the next video, which was where I rebuilt my McLaren F1, still like my third favorite model that I've ever built. I originally had built the GTR version, and so I rebuilt that, basically just a different color, to represent the HDK version. And this video was honestly like a fine video. I had built the model and really liked it, and so I made a video about it. I used a song from K-Trek, who is one of my favorite artists, so the video has a copyright strike, which is fine because the video didn't do that great. But I made a nice looking thumbnail for it, which I am rather happy with. Then I think there was another gap amount of time, and I made it like, I think maybe the only non-vehicle video I've ever had in the channel, which is kind of weird to think about, but it was an extremely fun video to make, and so I'd love to do more modular buildings like that in the future. And the video is actually really good. I think I did it pretty well. It has 15,000 views, so it did quite well, at least for how I was expecting it, because I assume this means that there are more Lego people that watch my channel than car people, because you guys like Lego, and you also like cars, but you're fine with just Lego, I think. But either way, I enjoyed doing something different, and I would like to like branch out into other stuff a little bit. Obviously, I'd like to keep doing cars. Then we did another episode of featuring your Lego car models, and that also did really well, 45,000 views at the moment. Then we did a relatively boring video, which was building a Lego Toyota Camry, and this is just kind of for fun, because I built this model of my friend's Camry, and so I decided to make a video on it. It wasn't super interesting, but it was kind of just like fun to make, so I didn't really care. It didn't do that well. Then there was another like large amount of time, I can't remember how long, and so this was like late November, I think, and so I hear that the new Need for Speed Unbound game has come out, which normally I wouldn't care about. Like, I don't really play that many video games. I think it's cool, but like, yeah, I don't play that many video games. But I had been playing Need for Speed Heat because it had gone for $3 on sale on Steam, and so I bought it and like played the heck out of it, and so I was kind of into Need for Speed for a little bit. I still kind of am, I guess. And so I had like been following the news from Need for Speed Unbound, and then there was all these like trailers and stuff with this like crazy 190E that like ASAP Rocky drives in the game that's like super heavily modified, and so there was like all this hype on Instagram about it and stuff, and so I was like, oh, you know what, I should try building that. Like, I think the car is cool. It's not like one of those cars that I think is like incredibly cool. It's kind of, maybe it's like the Zenvo. I think it is really cool, but it's not like not one of my favorite cars ever. I mean, the 190E is. This modified one, not so much. I still think it's cool though. I'm getting way too specific here. And so I built it. It didn't take that long. I filmed the build process because I figure you guys and myself, honestly, really just enjoy watching the build process videos a lot more than just like showing off the finished model, because, you know, the fun part of Lego is building it. Well, I mean, it's fun to have the model, but you know. And so I finished the model. It looked really good. I made a video about it. I edited the video, posted it up, I think on the same day that the Unbound was released. And it just like, I don't know, it succeeded, I guess you would say, because it's at 153,000 views right now. I think it's kind of stuck at 153,000 views. It just like it did okay in the first week, and then it just kind of took off, and now it's kind of amusing because Unbound has shown to be like not the greatest Need for Speed title out there, and so like as soon as people realize that, this video has like done worse because people aren't looking for Need for Speed Unbound content, which is kind of amusing. But I can see from the analytics, people were searching for Need for Speed Unbound. This was being suggested to them, which is exactly what I kind of wanted to happen, and so that was really good. Another cool thing is that somehow, it's a long story, but somehow ASAP Rocky now owns this model of the car. You'll notice it's also not on my shelf. So a lot of the Benzes I build now will live with their real life, real car inspirations, which is incredibly cool and really weird to think about, but I don't mind. Then there was another very long amount of time because I was busy again. And then the 2023 Speed Champions have been released, so I made a video talking about them. And normally, I mean, this is just a fun video to make, and normally I don't expect it to do that well, although previous times it actually has done pretty good. And this one actually did okay, 17,000 views right now, which is really good. And so, you know, not a super remarkable video, but it did pretty well. And then the most recent video, the Lamborghini Murcielago, which is probably my favorite video, not all things considered, that I have made in the last year, just because, well, if you watch the video, you'll know it's my favorite car, and probably my favorite model I've ever built. And there was just like a lot of cool stuff in that video, and I was really happy with the video. And all that to say, even though it has not done incredibly well, it's done pretty good, and so I'm happy with it. I've also built several new models technically in this like last year of the channel, which will be shown on the channel in the next year of the channel. That's not really very important, but I just thought I would mention it. And yeah, we have several interesting behind the scenes projects going on. Sometime, I don't know when, I would like to make a video looking back at like all the videos I've made, because I see them differently now than I did when I first made them, or even reviewing them like a year after. And so I suppose that's it for now. It feels weird making this kind of video this short, although it actually isn't as short. Now I look at my camera, it's like 26 minutes long. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna have some really, really cool videos coming out here in the next couple weeks. We're gonna try and bump up the consistency a little bit, where hopefully to the point of one video every 2 weeks, so we can make a high quality but still like enjoyable video. I would like to talk more about video strategy and stuff, but that's honestly kind of boring. Let me know if you'd like to see a video on that, because I feel like most people are not interested in that. And so I guess that is it for now. Again, thank you guys so much for watching and like supporting the channel and all that, and hopefully I will see you next time.